Thank you.
Okay. I'd like to call to order the Town of Riverhead Industrial Development Agency annual board meeting on March 28th, 2022 at 5:12 PM here in Riverhead Town Hall. And I guess for our first matter of business, I would like a consideration of the proposed agenda. May I have a motion
I'll
to
make that motion.
approve the agenda? Send it, a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Turning to another list of administrative matters, this involves both the designation of officers, the establishment of committees, endorsement of depositories, the engagement of bond counsel, and the engagement of CFO for the coming year. And I'd like a motion to approve all of these resolutions.
So moved.
I'll second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Now, a consideration of the, oh, excuse me, what, actually, I'm sorry, it's not here on the agenda.
Sorry.
Was, Lee, you've been sworn in already, and I just wanted to welcome you
Thank
to
you.
the IDA. Fun and games we'll be facing in the years to come.
I'm looking forward to it.
And I'm sure you're going to have some fun with us. It's going to be a lot of interesting work in the coming year, and we're glad to have you on board.
Thank you.
Apologize for
Is it welcome or sympathies?
apologize for having put that at the head of the map. Consideration of the minutes from our meeting of February 7th, 2022, Resolution 15-22.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Correspondence, Tracy?
None, sir.
All right. Committee reports. Audit Committee. Tracy, could you summarize our committee meeting?
Sure.
Thank you.
Maybe not.
Yes, you want this?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I took
That's
your-
okay, they're probably in there.
Had your copy.
So the audit committee met virtually on March 17th to review the draft audit provided by Jones Little. There were 3 opinions issued, all were clean. They went through the audit page by page with the committee. They noted in opinion 1, second paragraph, there was an emphasis of matter carried forward from the prior year. This disclosed a discussion on a substantial doubt of going concern for the agency operations. But management did provide evaluations, and it was submitted into the report. It didn't, but they had to include it as a note of emphasis of matter. The MD&A section, which is provided by the executive director throughout the year, shows a comparison from year to year. The balance sheet reflected cash was up, positive operations, cash increased. Most of the items in that balance sheet are typical, but new this year was payable to other governments. And that just reflected a pilot payment that was made in 2021, but distributed in 2022. Again, the income statement reflected that revenue was up, expenses went down a little. And the change in net position was $68,000. The footnotes in the audit are self-explanatory. There was somewhat of an extensive discussion on the employee benefit plan requirements by the New York State GASB, what is that, 68? It's a number of pages that have to be reflected in our audit that basically does a hypothetical picture if something were to happen to the New York State pension plan, what the agency's contribution would have to be in the event, they went, I guess, default. But it's hypothetical. However, it does have an impact on our financial statements. The audit overall was pretty good. And then the committee went through the annual reports that you reviewed already and voted on, and they made recommendations to approve them. And the annual review of policies that are necessary by the ABO and Paris reporting. Everything was approved and recommended for the board to approve. And that was it.
Okay, thank you. Laura, you want to comment on the governance committee?
Sure. The Governance Committee met on March 24th virtually and completed its annual review of reports, including the disposition of real property, procurement report, report on operations, and internal controls. The committee did not identify any amendments to the reports and voted to recommend to the full board that they approve the reports. Members then reviewed the draft Paris report, which must be submitted to the state of New York by the end of March. Members noted that the job levels were not nearly as impacted as might be expected as a result of COVID constraints, and mostly occurred within the hard-hit services sector. Minor revisions were recommended to the report for clarification and consistency, and committee members voted to recommend that the full board approve the Paris report as revised. Next, the committee reviewed the annual board evaluations and discussed, as we did last year, encouraging board members to identify any additional information or resources they feel they need as they deliberate on IDA projects, and to feel comfortable delaying consideration of any project or action as they fulfill their board duties. The committee reviewed the request from Island Industries to waive pilot late fees, and given that this is not the first time they have been late, will recommend to the full board that the administrative fee remain, along with the legally required general municipal law late fee component. The matter will be taken up later at this meeting. The committee also discussed the agency's possible participation in a proactive approach to addressing good neighbor relations and supporting community goals with the principles of Peconic Crossing. And finally, the committee discussed potential future applications and IDA-related legislation introduced in Albany.
Any comments? All right. And we have no finance committee comments today. That takes us to old business. No old business today?
None, sir.
Okay. And that takes us to new business, first of which is the consideration of the policies and annual reports, which is 1622.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That was Lori and who?
Tony. And now consideration to authorize the Paris report for the IDA. Have a motion, please, to,
I'll make the motion.
I will second.
all in favor?
Aye.
And now we get to the consideration of refinancing of 20 West Main Street. Tracy, you want to brief us on that a little bit?
Sure. Actually, I'll let Bill, do you want to do this, Bill? You're
Sorry,
muted.
just had it on mute. So
Sorry.
Oh, hold on.
I think I muted you.
am I unmuted? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. There's been a request made by 20 West Main LLC to refinance their existing mortgage that's on the facility, and we do have representatives from the company attending by Zoom. The request is for a mortgage presently estimated to be $2.2 million. The original mortgage was $1,484,771, and we're also reimbursing. The mortgage, the original mortgage was $1,475,500. Company had total project cost of $4,084,771. So of that amount, approximately $90,000 is reimbursement for money that they put into the project. And then the difference between the basically 1.5 million and 2.2, I believe, is equity that they're taking out of the company. And that's what's approved. They're not asking for or receiving mortgage reporting tax exemption on this refinancing. The existing mortgage is being assigned to a lender, so that was originally exempt, so the assignment is exempt, and they will have to pay mortgage reporting tax on the amount above. Did you want to say anything else from the company about what your plans are? Yeah. Tracy, can you mute Georgia? Oh,
I'm
she's
muted.
still muted, Tracy.
There I am.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I don't know how that happened. Okay, fine. You know what? My plans are always to do another investment in Riverhead. You know, I can recoup, a little bit of money, because I had a lot of money in here, and but I really like being in Riverhead, and I'm actually looking at something that I have to figure out how I can afford to buy. But it would be in Riverhead. It would be in keeping to what I do.
Georgia, why don't you just give the board an update on the success of 20 West Main to date?
Oh, so I have Ike here too, so he can do that because he's the manager. 20 West Main has been successful in many ways. First of all, there's a camaraderie that exists among the tenants, but it's always full. It's always rented. It's been almost 100% rented for years. So that shows that it's pretty successful. The building itself is beautiful. Tenants respect all the property, and people don't move out. They really basically don't move out because they love it. I think that the rents that we charge are appropriate, and tenants in occupancy. There are tenants, lawyers. There's lawyers. There is doctor. Financial advisors, potential title companies. We have a lot of very interesting tenants. And who else? We have a list. We have a list of the tenants. We have a physical therapist in the rear of, we have a garden in the back of 20 West that's really quite fabulous. And I maintain it
We
personally.
have a commercial hub.
We have a commercial hub. What is a commercial hub?
And it's
remember-
been
yeah.
great for for the other businesses, the restaurants, the pizzeria downstairs, it's like the cafeteria for our buildings. And
Absolutely. In fact, we're looking forward to having more retail around here, by the way, so that it's really good for my tenants as well. But yeah, we actually, I see lots of my tenants in, the restaurant, or the various restaurants on Main Street, especially Star Diner, pizza place. We go to the school, Long Island, I guess it's
Culinary.
the Culinary School Institute. Okay, actually, they're a fixture in Riverhead at this point. Yeah, a lot of them have been here for quite a while. They like it. We maintain the services really well. We keep a very clean building. During the virus, we basically were very strict with rules. Everyone adhered to them. No one got sick in my building. That's another weird, strange thing. People getting sick everywhere. We didn't get sick. Our expenses were increased because of the diligence, we used in order to keep it clean. Yeah, that was like a really top priority, or I would have shut it down, or I would have but we didn't have to do any of that. They're just very nice, decent people.
Terrific, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, by the way. Thank you all very much. You
Okay,
know that I really appreciate everything.
all right. Shall we consider the,
I'll make-
motion?
I'll make the motion. Sorry, Tom, go ahead.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
thanks,
you.
guys.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Thank you.
very much.
Congratulations on the project.
Okay, I can leave right now, right? But anyway, thank you. Be safe, everyone.
welcome.
You're welcome.
Nice talking to you. Goodbye.
Finally, that brings us to the consideration of fee waiving requests from Ion Exterior.
So I'll make the motion, just wanting to make sure that it reflects currently what we spoke about at the governance committee.
Yeah, the resolution does, but
That it maintain, so, as I mentioned in the report, the governance committee met, we discussed this request for the late fee waiver. And after much discussion, we approved a recommendation to the full board that we don't have any say in the general municipal law component, so that is what it is by law. We do, on top of that, usually charge a $1,000 administration fee and then a further penalty that equals the general municipal law, which I believe is like 5%?
5%.
5%. So the vote of the governance committee was to recommend that we maintain that administrative fee of $1,000 and waive the additional 5%. And so, as a motion, that's what I'd like to put forward for the full board consideration.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor of that?
Aye.
All right. And now, at this time, I think I want to ask for a motion to suspend the meeting so that we can have an executive session. Is that the appropriate mechanic?
yes, you're going to ask to recess this
Recess.
meeting.
Recess, excuse me, suspend.
I'll make that motion.
Motion to recess the meeting.
And just bear with me, because I'm going to have to organize a Zoom meeting for Bill.
Okay, well, let's have the motion then.
I made the motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Lee, was that Lee?
Yeah?
Yeah.
And Anthony at 5:27.
Yes?
Is this related to the Calverton business?
The executive session? No, not in particular,
Oh, okay.
but you'll have to leave